Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. Comfort food is one of those things that is so awesome because it's just flat out comforting. I mean, it is what it is, right? And there's just something about cheesy potatoes or a creamy casserole that grandma made with that cream of something or other soup. It just brings up comfort and nostalgia feels for me tremendously. And while we can ketoify most of these comfort food recipes, it usually requires bricks and bricks of cream cheese or buckets of sour cream. And that's totally fine. But after a while of living this keto lifestyle, the abundance of these delicious ingredients can start to slow down our progress. KetoChow and Steve over at Serious Keto have teamed up to create for us 2 new savory flavors of KetoChow that can make those nostalgic recipes easier than ever to prepare and share, even with the non-keto people in our lives. And those 2 flavors are baked potato and cream of mushroom soup. These both seem like they're going to be so useful in the kitchen for preparing meals, especially those comfort meals. And I've got recipe ideas for both of these. Today we're going to stick with the baked potato and we're going to make a Utah classic funeral faux-tatoes. Instead of potatoes, we're going to be using cauliflower, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. For the first half of the recipe, we're going to need some KetoChow baked potato, gelatin, frozen cauliflower, water, sour cream, shredded cheese, and melted butter. You can find the printable recipe on my website that should be linked down my description box below. We're gonna take 2 ounces of cool water and bloom our gelatin before we do anything else. Let that sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then add your KetoChow baked potato flavor. Add 12 ounces of warm water on top. Using the blender bottle makes this process very simple. Drop in your whisk ball, seal the lid tightly, shake vigorously to ensure all of the KetoChow powder has been dampened by the water. Then place this in the fridge for 30 minutes to overnight so it can fully set. It's time to prepare the filling for a casserole. We're going to add 1 cup of sour cream to our prepared KetoChow. Alternatively, you could use a cup of blended cottage cheese or a cup of Greek-style yogurt. Mix those together vigorously in your blender bottle to create our creamy sauce. Then we're going to add our shredded cheese to our frozen cauliflower florets. Try to chop those up into some smaller bite-sized pieces if they are pretty large. Add about half of your creamy mixture to the bowl along with your melted butter and begin mixing these ingredients well. Once those ingredients start to incorporate, go ahead and add the rest of your KetoChow cream sauce. Continue mixing until all of the cauliflower is evenly coated with the cream sauce and the cheese seems to be evenly distributed. Pour the cauliflower mixture into a 9 by 13 baking dish and spread evenly. For the topping, we need some pork rind crumbs and some melted butter. If you're using regular pork rinds, use a food processor or a mini processor like I have here. Break up your pork rinds to fit into the bowl and then process until they are large crumbs. Sprinkle the crumbs onto the top of the casserole and repeat until you have a nice layer. If you are using pork rind crumbs, this should take between 1 and 2 cups of pork rind crumbs. Once you are satisfied with the layer of crumbs on top, drizzle your melted butter around the pan as evenly as you can. And let's take this to the oven. In a preheated 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, we are going to place our funeral faux-tatoes. We're going to have this bake for about 45 minutes to begin with, and then we will check on it
If it is still jiggly and wobbly in the middle, you want it to bake a little bit longer. Bake it until it is fully set.
Well, the funeral potatoes are getting all delicious and sassy in the oven. I thought I would tell you a little bit about KetoChow. It is a nutritionally complete meal replacement shake. It gives you 1/3 of your daily vitamins and minerals, which is pretty unique on the market when it comes to meal replacement shakes. Another unique feature is that they don't add fat to KetoChow. Some flavors have a tiny bit more fat than others just based on the specific ingredients like peanut butter, but you get to choose your own fat source and how much you need based on your own nutritional requirements. You can check out KetoChow by clicking my affiliate link down in the description box below or scanning the QR code here on the screen. My code Lindsey Murphy will get you 10% off of all of your non-subscription orders.
The funeral potatoes are ready to come out of the oven. I did check these at 45 minutes. They were still extremely loose and jiggly through the center. However, letting them go for about 30 to 45 minutes more will yield the perfect results. The topping is crispy and buttery, not burnt. If you do see yours browning a little bit too quickly, feel free to add a layer of foil on top to slow down that process.
Couple things I wanted to mention really quickly. Number one, this recipe scales beautifully. If you want to reduce it down for a smaller number of servings for like a small family, totally possible. You can also double, triple, whatever you need for a large group, and it still works out great. Also, this recipe is super freezer friendly if you wanted to get ahead on some freezer meal prep. In order to do that, there are a few things you need to do. First, make sure that you freeze this unbaked. Second, do not put on the pork rind and butter topping until you are absolutely ready to bake it. The third thing is make sure that you bake this from frozen. If you let it thaw out all the way, the cauliflower will be way too watery, way too mushy. It is not going to work out well for you. The time it will take to bake will be significantly increased. However, it will give you a much better result than trying to thaw it out first.
These funeral potatoes turned keto are sure to be a hit with those who are nutritionally like-minded and for those who are just around for some good food. Give these a try and let me know what the people in your life think of them down in the comments section below.